What are the differences between B2B and B2C marketing online on social media specifically? What I'm going to show you here is a segment of different B2B companies and compare that to a B2C company and show you where the distinct differences are and the differences between the different, what I'm going to call stages of marketing maturity for different B2B companies. So the first one that we're looking at right now is XPO Logistics. This is one of the largest, if not the largest, logistics company in the world. And so you can see I'm on their website right now. They have the typical high brand profile with, uh, here we've got serial marked slogans such as results matter and good slogan work here. We provide pivotal supply chain solutions to the most successful companies in the world. So what they're doing is tying themselves to success in these large organizations, showing that they're a part of that solution. So these companies are ultimately successful in part due to the fact that they work with a company like XPO. So here you have very strong calls to action on the website. Connect with an expert or learn more about our solutions. So in one, they're moving you into speaking with someone directly, and this is going to move you into the sales chain. Where here, it's more of a nurture where they move you into learning more, it's self-guided. You're going to get more information about them so you can move into that sales funnel ultimately. So now let's look at what they do on Facebook. So as you know, Facebook throttles organic visibility, number one. So for you to be seen, you either have to grow your organic audience very large and with people who will be potential customers, influencers, uh, to get new business with other customers. But aside from that, we just want to look at how they post and what they post on their Facebook page as content. So XPO's page, they have a good number of people following them, almost 35,000 people. And you can see here they've got a good array of things happening. They're active, they have videos, they have images in place. But we can see, so in this case, they posted yesterday. And they posted something that they did with a local group, 200 backpacks, donated thousands of school supplies. This is great. It's feel good, it's for the community. Here they're talking about undergrads and interns that were working with them. This is fantastic again. The here you're talking about truck driving championships that they're a part of. So what I'm going to explain here is that they're doing a lot of things to satisfy a number of different audiences. This is going to be more about their PR and what they do for the community to continue showing goodwill towards being a company and giving back. Second, here you have as this is regarding their employment pool. They're trying to get new people into their organization. They want good people to work for them, and this is a way to continue to fuel that hiring pool that they have to work with. And in this case, again, you've got internal employees who are working on this, and a good amount of camaraderie is happening here. People are able to promote themselves, and you're getting some engagement on this. This is fantastic. Here, talking about internally what's happening inside the workplace. Hey, Mondays, we have fun here. We do good things. And so there's a number of audiences that they have to work with. They're international. They need to worry about hiring people and having a constant pool of people at the ready. They also need to handle their community service because just people in general could look at them and say, hey, you're not doing enough. If someone gets mad at them for some reason, they'll start attacking them as a business. All you care about is yourselves and making money. So there's all these things that a huge global publicly traded organization has to work with. So what you're seeing is a lot of messaging to cater to those different audiences. And so, again, here we partner with the NFL's Carolina Panthers. So they're getting a lot of promotion with this affinity marketing, tying them to a known brand that people love. So the thing that they would do here is promote this to a pretty wide spectrum of audiences, but any promotion that they would do on Facebook, they can segment this to very specific targets and be successful in getting that reach and awareness as a large organization. So you can think of this company as a huge brand. They are a big brand. And so they're going to treat their marketing as you would Apple and McDonald's, where you've got all these different audiences and you have to speak to them in a way that gets a lot of reach and can drive engagement. But there's less need to have direct response happening here on the page because you already have successfully built channels where that is a given. Like new accounts happen differently. Very large accounts, global accounts are going to happen in a different way where you could get business by getting direct response on their social here, but it's going to be smaller companies that they're not necessarily focusing on. Now they could definitely influence the people who work at those large companies who would make a part of be a part of making those decisions, but these are what are going to influence them because they're part of another large organization, and it's a big switch. So it's less that these other companies are seeking out their services and going to Facebook for that, because the established channel etiquette, if you will, already exists in they're huge and they're known. It's not a question who XPO is in the industry. So then if we move down to what I'm going to call a mid-size B2B brand, and I'm focusing all on logistics here to keep the theme the same so you can see the difference. But this company, LTI, is another logistics company. They're smaller in size, but they have some calls to action here on the website. It's clear, take on the open road with LTI. Again, this is partner with a company that's driven to be the best in all things transportation and logistics. This is what you're going to typically get from a creative agency, and it's fine. But it doesn't really tell you anything other than we're a logistics company and we're aiming to be really good at that. Click through another slide. Be a name, not a number. They're claiming that they know who you are and what's important to you. So again, another just kind of a generic catchphrase that a creative agency would create. And then coming down here, you've got the services. So here it's the services view details. So this is your call to action to move into the actual services of trucking. You want to be a truck driver. You talk about click through here. And then their logistics services, so the management of traffic, the management of that flow that the trucks are moving through. So they have some information on the side here. That's great. A few calls to action. These are very strong view details. It's fine. This is kind of average and is what you'd expect from a company this size. Now let's look at what they do for social on Facebook. So they're adding, they have some video and some images, and they're active and they're posting, somewhat active, right? So today is August 24th, and the last time that they posted was on August 20th. And these are the types of posts you'd see with an internal marketing person that works on their own, doesn't have much resources available to them, or an outside agency where you've hired a single person or a small shop that doesn't necessarily know how to market digitally, like strategically online. So what they do is the kind of the norm. Let's post very generic things, asking very generic questions, and we will post a lot of internal things for the company and third-party items that are related to our industry, but they're not strategic in getting you visibility. So a mid-level company like this is looking for new business regularly. They want to feed the funnel to their sales team who are fielding their own calls. So there are some existing channels that have some presence. So, they're in directories. People are calling them just from some word of mouth because they have a customer base. But they're not doing a digital that well, and they want to have that presence, and they want to be found more often and get more leads from that visibility. So when you see things like this, what kind of truck do you prefer? You're trying to engage an existing audience here. And the problem with this is that organically you're not going to get the visibility. But obviously when you look at these numbers, when they have 4,500 likes on their community size, and the number of reactions and likes they're getting here at 197, 90 comments, it's send them a message, this will go to your messenger. This is great to engage the initial community, but they're obviously putting ad spend behind this, because if you look at others, there's 9 reactions, 6 comments, 10 reactions, 2 comments. It doesn't get near or even close to the number of engagements that you're getting on this post here. So this was paid. Now I can't tell you what they were targeting or who they were targeting, but it was definitely paid to be seen by more people. So they might have been targeting truck drivers, or they might have been targeting their 4,500 followers who already have an affinity to them and would be most likely to engage on this question because they know who they are. But something like this, that's great. It keeps top of mind awareness and it gets people talking with you, but it does not necessarily convert. And that isn't a bad thing, right? Like you're engaging this community. Things like this, the quick tip, less idle equals more pay. Um, yeah, I don't know how the call to action here is talk to Dave Sieb, but I don't know that this is telling me much. But again, these are all awareness pieces. So you have another post here though that looks like it could be a blog post. So if you click through, I'm just going to go to their website, and so this is likely a news article that's posted or a blog post that was created. And the family company over the next month, they're doing these things. So more articles here. So it looks to be like a news release, and that's great. You're putting that out there. But again, this is obviously not optimized to be found. It doesn't. This is something good to share with your customers because or potential drivers because it's specific to enhancing driver pay. You have drivers, you have people that would potentially want to be drivers with you, so it's going to be very interesting to them. But nothing about this is optimized. As I look at this, I see that the title tag isn't necessarily optimized for anything. Definitely nothing on the page has been optimized for search or to do anything else like to convert. So for example, this was to been optimized, it would have the typical technical SEO optimizations, but it would also have things called out here. So bullets, bolded words, headlines, subheads within the article, and then at the bottom, a contact form maybe about learn more about this specific service or tool, learn more about how you can work for us. And then you're sharing that and you can actually convert off of that, right? It's going to be more useful as a tool to do work for you as a company. So either hiring or getting more sales. So again, I'll go back to what I was saying is mid-level company, the mid-sized companies are looking for new business and they're going to find it on social and they are going to find it online across the web. So social is a great place to do that. If you're trying to work with specific types of companies, you're going to be able to put together an article like this, promote it on a post like this, and then target the types of companies or the people that work at specific companies or in specific industries and get your content in front of them. That's very easy to do, and that converts extremely well. And it needs to be done because when you start writing about details that are important to them and you show it to them, they will engage because guess what most people are doing? Not that it's typically buried for so someone like an XPO, they're more expensive to work with. The things that they do are kind of buried deeply into a lot of nests. So if you're going into specific solutions, you've got all these different things that they're working on. But omnichannel retail is an example. There's a lot of things that they'll do here. There's a case study, but you see what I'm saying? It's not really giving you much. Where a company that's going to work with you on a regional level here, or they're looking to work with someone like you, they're going to want to know details. They want to know specifics about do you do XYZ things. It's not a question on what XPO does. They do everything. They're the largest. So what is it that you can do to ensure that you meet my needs, you meet the specific things that I'm looking to do? It's very important because you're not going to be able to do everything. You may say that, but when it really comes down to it, you're not going to be able to do everything because you just haven't accumulated those resources yet. And that is fine. And you want to express what it is you actually do. So again, not knocking doing this, but sending, again, sharing third-party information. This takes you away from Facebook. This takes you away from never getting to their website. This, again, is trying to create awareness and tie you to the industry, but it's already known you're tied to the industry. If this was so important that it needed to be talked about, this needs to be created on a blog, and it needs to be shared on social and get them back to your website so you can convert them. And same thing here again, Miss Diva Trucker. These are all pieces that are good industry pieces. They're all internal, promoting, promoting goodwill within the company and kind of talking about the company, but not giving specifics that would convert anybody. It's all awareness. So, that's one of the things that we focus on. We focus on mid to bottom of the funnel messaging. So we're looking to get direct response and create content that will convert those who you are trying to do business with through targeting, through optimized content creation. The strategy is it's a high ROI content strategy. And we'll talk about that shortly, but let me just move on so you can see what I'm talking about here. It's awareness. And you can definitely tell the difference between XPOs where they're speaking to the community, they're speaking to employment, they're speaking to national recognition and the fact that they have this large capability, they're really pushing a lot of messages here, and you can just see just back and forth, you can just see the difference between the marketing on both of these. So now I'm going to move to an even smaller group. So another transportation company, where this is in St. Louis here. The website is, it does have a call to action. Yeah, I could click on the now hiring, which isn't necessarily clear that that's a button. I just wanted to show that it was. You wouldn't necessarily know that's a button, but this will take you to their careers page, and this will take you to a mail to link, which can pop up email, but ideally, right, you have a form that someone can just submit through to you. Have the phone number, that's great. It would be better if it was click to call. So if you're on a mobile device, you can click and call that. And they have some information here about their services. There's not a ton on the website. So the website overall needs optimized for search, needs optimized to convert, and that's a very important thing when you're smaller and you're likely trying to get new business, and obviously in this case you're trying to hire new drivers. So it's great that that's up front, because if that's your primary goal, it's there. So that's actually a plus if that is their actual goal. So let's look at their social media though. So we move into Facebook. We can see, again, they've got a lot fewer people here, 56 people liking the page. And we see that there's no video. They're having images, but we're not seeing any video that was added. And then the pin that they have, which a pin will just keep it at the top. This was pinned in September of 2015, so nearly 3 years ago. The now hiring message, which is on the website, the now hiring message looking the same, was 3 years ago. So obviously every trucking company actually needs to have this flow of talent. This is the primary, but this has been up for 3 years. So it's either working very well or there's just neglect on the page, which is typically the case. So as you scroll down, we can see, hey, join me in welcoming these guys. Join me welcoming this guy, this guy, this guy, and these guys right here. So you can see another big difference with an even smaller, more local transportation company. There's very little that they're doing here, just showing new drivers that they've hired. And here they did have something where they had a safety meeting and a officer came out. But they're literally doing nothing to speak to a business audience and trying to convert to get new business. Now, they are working a little bit harder here to get the employment up. They're trying to get new drivers in, so they're showcasing their drivers. But again, they're not necessarily trying to convert drivers. This pinned post would potentially do that, but that pinned post is doing nothing because very few people are going to navigate over to this main website. They're going to engage with the posts in their feed, which is how people operate on Facebook. They work with what's in their feed, and they will potentially go and explore more about your business on your page, but it is 90% more likely that they will come and just engage with this piece in their feed. So the fact that 4 people have liked this, it has probably had very little visibility, and it's definitely getting none right now except for me viewing this page. So those are very distinct. Those are very distinctly different segments of a specific B2B industry where very large companies need to act like big brands because they have established themselves and created the sales channels and the flow of business that allows them to be a brand. That becomes one of their primary focuses, is the brand and speaking to the different groups that they need to speak with, which it is that way somewhat for the mid-level brand who ultimately wants to become a larger brand, if that's the goal of the company. But again, the effort of converting more business is a much higher priority at the level which you can convert online. So the types of companies who are going to find you and work with you and engage with you online and directly do business with you, or do business with you as a direct result of having engaged with you online, are perfect for a mid-level company. And so being actively vocal with your direct response messaging is highly important. And then for the lower guys, it's fantastic that he has something going here, but getting a level of strategy here is extremely important because like with the hiring, you definitely want to be targeting people. You definitely want to be writing about the benefits of working with this company, stories about how successful drivers are with your company. That's going to be extremely important in attracting new guys, or the programs you have or available programs to get people trained and into your organization. That's the type of content that new truck drivers are looking for. What are you going to give me? What are the benefits I get? Or I want to get into the industry. How do I do it? And if you show them, they're going to come and work with you. So that's just a fact. So let's look at now a difference from the B2B and then look at B2C. So if we look at Mountain Dew, for example, Mountain Dew's is a totally brand, right? It's a product, but it's a drink. And I'm not going out and considering with any real thought, is this going to be the best fit for me? I've tried it because they connected with me in some way, and I either liked it or I didn't. And if I liked it, their continuance of pressing the affinity to a specific type of lifestyle or imagery to draw that emotion or that connectivity to what I believe in as a value or the things that I enjoy. That is that's how they continue to increase your consumption and increase your loyalty to using this product by only being a brand, basically. So you can see here is watch video, sports. There's not really much going on this website. There's very strong calls to action just to do this. So, sports related. I can click to the products and they'll show me the different products here. But if I go over to their Facebook as an example, what they're giving me is a lot of imagery of the product in use. So this is a very large company, videos, contests that involve the brands, that involve the influencers, because it's all about, man, I love that. I'm drinking more Mountain Dew. Let's look at this. Oh, God, yeah, it's hot outside. I want to get on the beach. I need a Mountain Dew. You've got this huge brand loyalty where people are stacking and making, making these walls and chairs and things. You're not doing that necessarily with B2B. People will do this. So once you get to a larger state, but this is all about emotion driven, connected to values and beliefs, and not that that's not a thing you can do as a mid-level B2B brand, but you've got to convert into more business to be able to fund the creation of these things or the contest that you could run, or the hangout at the company and giving things like that away. And here, this is great. They're promoting a specific product, right? So this is a product push, and this is typical across all industries. You have something new, push it out to everybody. So you're talking, it's very similar, B2C, B2B in that you push the product. Hey, it's new. This is where you can get it. So just a lot of stuff, tying it to other products, doing everything you can to pique interest and get people looking at it and paying attention to it. We're at a skate park. We're at a skate competition. Just tons of it, right? They know their audience and they know what they like and they connect themselves to that. Now, if we look at a smaller beverage brand to keep it in the family, this is a double cola company, and the ski product does not have its own website in this case. It's got its own its own page within the parent company's website. So there's, view the full product line. That's fine, but you're not doing anything necessarily here. And then on the Facebook page, they have a decent following, just over 40,000. But what you'll notice is that quality's lower, the volume is less. So they posted yesterday on the 21st, 20th. So about every day, every other day, it looks like there's a decent interval where they're at least posting 2 to 3 times a week, it looks like. But what you'll see is it's very similar to the Big Boy brand, except you can just tell the quality is a little bit different. Frequency is lower, the style is the same, just a little bit different quality. And in their case, they're getting a lot of user-generated content. So, for example, here, one of our skiers, Rachel, they're calling her out, shared this, and so they're sharing that to get her to promote it, which is perfect. And it's a perfect form of influencer marketing. It's a more affordable way of doing it. Again, someone holding it out. It's all lifestyle. It's all lifestyle. Little kid drinking it. Here we are. This is the way B2C brands do it. So while you can infuse that into your B2B marketing, it's extremely important to make sure that you are promoting sales focused messages in addition to these other things. You will never get anyone to convert off of these posts in any real way. Getting more awareness ultimately can lead to it, and that's why you need to be doing some of these things. But then without that middle and bottom of the funnel activity, so getting them to consider you and getting them to act and talk and engage with you so that you can close the sale is extremely important. And I know we're focusing on B2B social here and looking specifically at Facebook and specifically at the industry of transportation and logistics and then using beverage as a comparison. But I will tell you that this is no different on every other channel as well. Running ads across social, running ads on AdWords, the Google networks, the display networks, and optimizing your site, the content you create, all needs to reflect the same thing. We work with mid-sized companies that want to grow, that want to increase digital as a sales channel to bring in new leads, to close new customers, to get more engagement, to sell more services. This is who we work with, and we do it by researching the search engines, researching across social media, and finding what your customers are asking for, what they want more of, and creating a content strategy based on that, tying it back to your business goals, and then promoting that across social media, getting you found in the search engines through search engine optimization, running retargeting across all ad networks so that those that we do get in front of who are your targets will see you often and always so that you stay top of mind, and doing that with middle to the bottom of the funnel direct sales focused messages. So more leads, more customers, more revenue. Thanks so much. Let me know if you have any questions. My name is John Bracamontes. You can reach out online directly through a contact form. Find me on LinkedIn or email me at john@acumenstudio.com. Look forward to hearing from you. Thanks so much.